Hi all, hope you all are doing good. So today we are going to discuss about an important topic called global warming. So we'll try to understand what is global warming, what are the effects of global warming, what are the causes of global warming, and what are the solutions for global warming. So first we'll try to understand what global warming means. Have you ever heard of this word global warming in any of news channels or through your friends or through environmental science classes? If no, no problem. By the end of this session, you will understand what is global warming and why this is very important. So now we will try to understand what global warming actually means. So, global warming is the long term gradual increase in Earth's average surface temperature. That is, over a long period of time, the temperature of the Earth keeps increasing and your average gets increased. So, what is meant by the surface temperature of Earth? So, Earth's surface temperature, how it is measured? It is measured by two things by measuring the air temperature 2 meters above Earth's land surface and ocean water surface temperature. So both these are measured and the average is calculated, and that's what gives us Earth's average surface temperature. So if you see here, if you are standing on the ground and from 2 meters above the ground, the air which is present, the temperature of the air is measured there. The other place is on the top of the ocean, the top thin layer of the water, ocean water, the temperature is measured. So the average of both these two temperatures is taken, and that helps us to calculate the Earth's average surface temperature. So the gradual increase in this temperature over a long period of time is what is called global warming. So, for example, to make you understand, suppose the Earth's temperature is 20 degrees Celsius today. Now, after 10 years of time, you are measuring the same temperature. So, when you measure the temperature, you find the Earth's temperature is now 21 degrees Celsius after 10 years. So there has been gradual increase of 1 degree Celsius over a period of 10 years. Got it? So that is what is called global warming. So we should try to maintain the Earth's average temperature at whatever minimum it is. We should make sure this does not increase to 30 degree, 40 degree. So what will happen if it increases too much? You know, you'll not be able to even walk outside your house. That much hotter it will become. So why this phenomenon is important? If we don't take any steps now, in future, the earth will become inhabitable. That is, nobody will be able to even live on earth because of high temperature. What will happen if you go out, your skin will burn or you will get burnt. So that will happen if this global warming trend continues for next 100 years, 20 years or 30 years. That depends upon what steps we are taking now to prevent this phenomena. Okay. So now that we have understood what is global warming, let us see what causes that global warming, what is involved, how that happens, we'll see. Now we are going to see the how part, how the global warming happens. See, to some extent of warming of the earth is fine because if there is no heat happening or the earth is not getting any heat, the earth will get frozen like ice and will not be able to survive. So, some amount of heat is fine, which is the average. But if that average exceeds, then there is the problem. So, now I will see how this warming happens. So, if you see now, let me zoom in. Okay, first we'll try to understand. So, this is our Earth, which you are seeing, is light blue color. Next comes your troposphere, the blue circle here. Okay, so most of the gases which are helping for the global warming or for keeping the earth warm are present here. Next is the stratosphere, the green, the pink color one. Next comes the yellow circle, which is the mesosphere. See, if you see here, it expands from 50 to 80 kilometers. Stratosphere extends from 12 to 50 kilometers. Troposphere extends from 0 to 12 kilometers. Thermosphere extends from 80 to 700 kilometers, the green one, and the last one is the exosphere, 700 to 10,000 kilometers. Now, what are these? These are nothing but the atmosphere of Earth. That atmosphere is the what to say air or gas which is surrounding our Earth. It is protecting us. So it is the atmosphere around the Earth which is helping in protecting our Earth. Now, if you see here, the Earth is protected by one, two, three, four, 5 layers of different atmospheric layers. We have just no name this as different layers because of the different properties present. Okay, so the first layer is called troposphere, and in this layer it extends from 0 to 12 kilometers from Earth's surface. And here, most of the gases which we breathe, like oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, hydrogen, water vapor, how the rains fall, all these are present here in the troposphere. Next comes our stratosphere. So, in this stratosphere, if you see, we have the ozone layer. See, ozone layer is present in the stratosphere, O3, which helps in protecting us from the UV rays. Okay, and next comes the mesosphere middle layer. Here the temperatures are cold, and next comes your thermosphere. Here we see some phenomena on that northern lights in Arctic side. We see that northern lights where one shining green, blue combination of lights display happens. So that happens in this layer, the atmosphere, and this is the outermost layer. Now the air pressure or the volume of air reduces or the air reduces as we move upper and see, and if we move upper in the atmosphere, it becomes closer to the sun, so the temperature also will be increasing. But in mesosphere, if you see, we will feel cold, or in the atmosphere or exosphere, because as the air is heated, its volume reduces and we start feeling cold. So pressure is reduced and we start feeling cold. That's why these places we will feel cold. So the temperature is here in troposphere, stratosphere. So here inside the troposphere, our temperature is average, suitable for our body. Okay. So now we are more interested in two layers, that is the troposphere layer 0 to 12 kilometers and stratosphere 12 to 50 kilometers. And this troposphere 0 to 12 kilometers is the place where we have the greenhouse gases. See, these are all the greenhouse gases, the water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, ozone, fluorinated gases. So all these gases are present in the troposphere. Okay, troposphere. So now troposphere is very important to study these greenhouse gases. So now what are these greenhouse gases? Greenhouse gases are gases which absorb the heat and reflect back to the earth. So these gases help in maintaining the earth's surface temperature. They prevent the earth from becoming cold. So to some extent all these are good. Anything in its excess is what causes global warming. So if you see here, here the rays from the sun come. Okay, they come, they hit the earth's surface. Then what happens? Usually these rays, the light rays should go back. So they should be going back into the space. But these molecules absorb some of that energy and they reflect it back to the earth's surface. Okay, so instead of sending it back everything to space, they observe these heat waves, infrared waves, shorter waves, and then they reflect it back to the earth. So because of that, what happens? The heat is getting trapped here and it is being reflected back to earth. So this makes sure the earth is warmer. So there are two types of greenhouse effects happening. One greenhouse effect happens from the human emitted gases, okay, and the other happens from the water vapor, which is a natural greenhouse effect. It's the Earth's natural greenhouse effect. So how this is contributing to global warming is um, because of more increase in carbon dioxide and methane, the Earth's temperature is increasing and it is increasing the water vapor. So naturally, when the ocean water heats up, it changes into water vapor, and lot of water vapor is produced, and the water vapor volume increases in the troposphere, and we get this global warming. So here we have all these gases which are human emitted gases. So global warming is caused by this excess of all these gases in the atmosphere. So how much they are contributing? So if nothing is being emitted by human beings and whatever existing these gases are there and they are keeping the earth warm, that is fine. But what is happening is all these gases are being generated by human activities and they are in turn increasing the earth's temperature. Okay, now that is the problem. So in that carbon dioxide comes first. It contributes to 74 percentage of global warming. Methane contributes 18%, fluorinated gases 1 to 2 percentage, ozone 7 percentage, and nitrous oxide 5 to 7 percentage. It is contributing to the global warming. So most of the maximum global warming is happening because of carbon dioxide released from different human activities. Methane 18% as we saw. So if you see here, we have the ozone layer. We know ozone layer is very important for blocking the sun's ultraviolet rays. So if you see here, this is the ozone layer. Now this ozone and the ozone which is present in the troposphere both are same, but the ozone which is present inside the troposphere, it absorbs the heat and reflects it back to earth. It absorbs the ultraviolet radiation and in turn it causes heat. So that's why it is bad when ozone is present in the troposphere. But the same ozone, when it is present in the stratosphere, O3, it is good because it absorbs all the ultraviolet rays and it does not affect our atmosphere near to our human beings, the animals or birds, the living beings, they are not affected because that ozone is beyond the troposphere. So troposphere is what is very important for us for our survival. Stratosphere, that ozone layer will help protect the UV rays. So this is far away from our Earth's temperature and Earth's surface temperature. So it will not affect us much. So the ozone which is present in the troposphere is what going to affect us. So if you see, it contributes to 7% and it is derived from nitrous oxide only. So nitrous oxide is N2O, which splits and releases O, oxygen molecule, and that combines with free flowing oxygen O2 and becomes O3. So basically it is the secondary pollutant which is coming from the nitrous oxide. So these are the greenhouse effect percentages caused by human emitted gases, and this is the natural greenhouse effect which in turn is affected by the human emissions of carbon dioxide and methane, and in turn the water vapor is increasing. So hope you have understood till here. So why we are reading all these things? What is the need for knowing which gas produces what, how much effect it is making to the environment? Because by knowing these gases which are causing us these heating phenomena, we can try to reduce these gases by taking steps. By reducing these gases, our global warming or the heating of the earth will reduce. In turn, it will reduce global warming. That's why we are looking at all these gases. Next, we will try to understand what are the causes of global warming. What is causing this global warming? Okay, so if you see here, so global warming causes, if we see, one of the major reasons is this deforestation, cutting down of the trees. So what happens? You know that plants breathe in carbon dioxide, and we already saw carbon dioxide is the major contributor for global warming. So by cutting down these trees, you are reducing the carbon dioxide removal from the atmosphere. So that is one of the main reasons why this global warming is happening. So wherever there are a lot of trees, you will feel the heat is less. Why? Because the carbon dioxide is being absorbed. That's why. The other place is using the fossil fuels, like you are using the gas cylinders for your cooking, In industries, they are using this coal for generating electricity. Even the natural gas is used there as well for generating electricity. So all these burnings will increase more carbon dioxide and they are released into the air. Nitrous oxide and is produced. So all this also cause this global warming. Next is cattle farming. What about the cattle? How they are contributing to this pollution? They are the contributors of methane. So the cattle's digestive system releases a gas called methane, which is produced because of their digestive system. So that methane is also one of the contributors of global warming. Next is comes your industrial activities, all these factories which burn lot of coal or any natural gases or they produce and release lot of chemicals into the air like carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and nitrous oxide. So all that also contributes to the global warming. Next comes your transportation. So transportation, as we know, we use all the transportation vehicle use diesel, petrol, gas for driving. So those also contribute to global warming. Next is human waste. Human waste is whatever waste we are producing on daily basis. Could be it's food waste or plastic waste or whatever waste which we are producing and it is being released into the atmosphere. So food, where if you lot of food waste is done, that food when it degrades, it releases methane. The plastics whichever are there, if you are going to burn them, it releases carbon monoxide into the air. So that's why these also contribute to global warming. So next is agriculture. So agriculture it uses pesticides and lot of agricultural waste or the agriculture when we are doing cultivation we keep water and that water decomposes these organic food items and it also releases methane, nitrous oxide into the air. That's why even agriculture contributes to global warming. So these are some of the causes which lead to global warming by the way of releasing these different kinds of gases which we saw earlier. These gases increase in the tropospheric layer and in turn they contribute to the global warming. So now that we understood the causes, let us see what are the effects of this global warming. So what will happen if this global warming continues like this? So if global warming continues, it will lead to extreme weather events like droughts. You'll have severe heat waves, heavy rainfalls, which will in turn lead to floods. It will melt the glaciers, the sea levels will increase, and whoever is staying on the coastal line will be um, no flooded with increasing sea levels. They will have to move away from their coastal houses because it is getting submerged under water because of increasing sea levels. Next, it will lead to ocean degradation. Degradation means ocean water will start heating up, which will lead to acidic water creation, and all the animals inside that water will die who are not able to sustain that conditions. Next, it will lead to ecosystem and biodiversity loss because longer, hotter weathers, the birds, animals, they might not be able to adjust. So whichever bird is able to adapt, it will survive. Which is not able to adapt, it will die. It is leading to uncontrollable forest fires because of the hot weathers. So the wildlife will be destroyed like that. The the other one will be impact on humans. Will have health issues if the temperatures increase, economic impacts because there are droughts, floods, agriculture is getting affected, so there will be less food. So, and because of flooding or fires, the houses will be destroyed, and lot of money will have to be spent to rebuilding that. And because of the sea level rising, the human beings will be displaced from their actual place. So, these are the effects of global warming if it's going to continue. Now, let us come to the solutions how we can reduce this global warming. So, one of the solutions is transitioning the energy sector to wind, solar, or hydroelectric power. Like we can use the windmills, solar panels which use the sunlight, or using water, hydroelectric power, we can generate electricity. So, which in turn will reduce the combustion of coal, natural gases for generating electricity. Next, we can transform the agricultural and food systems like by reducing the food waste. As we told, the food waste decomposes and releases methane, and developing alternate plant-based proteins, trying to reduce the cattle rearing for meat. We can look for alternatives which are plant-based. Next, by reducing the chemical fertilizers, mixing specific seaweeds to reduce burps in livestock so that it will reduce the methane production. So if you see next is this decarbonization of transportation and infrastructure like using electric vehicles like electric cars, or we can use fuels like green hydrogen. Wherever we cannot electricate that particular system, we can use green hydrogen generation. So green hydrogen is prepared using water where H2O is split into two parts, and the H2 is what used for your fueling, and O it releases oxygen into the air. See, you get fresh oxygen with this process as well as fuel for your vehicles or any other industry purposes. Next one is trying to re-engineer the industrial processes. Like we can upgrade our refrigerators with natural coolant like propane or ammonia by encouraging the recycling. So we can encourage recycling and trying to reduce the waste, and trying to exploit the raw materials, which in turn will reduce the global warming. The next one is your reforestation and afforestation. So, reforestation is planting new trees wherever possible and trying to remove um, remove uh, afforestation, remove the deforestation problems, and trying to restore the spoiled forests. So that is protecting and expanding the carbon sinks. So carbon sinks are nothing but the places or the reservoir which absorbs carbon dioxide from atmosphere. It can be natural or it can be artificial. Natural is like your forests are all the carbon sinks. or artificially you can create a reservoir where all the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is absorbed and stored underground. That also can be done. So these things should be done so that our global warming phenomena is resolved. So our Earth's temperature remains stable. So hope you have understood today's session. So if all this is followed, we will be having a happy, smiling Earth. So that's why global warming is so important, and resolving that will help us to have a very happy and better future. Thank you for your time. Hope you have enjoyed today's session. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like my videos. Thank you.